If we were together in person in the meeting house and I was telling you this story, you would see that I would have a surfboard or something like a surfboard, a boogie board that I borrow from Sarah R. And I would have a thermos of hot water because they're going to help me tell this story. Now, we are having quite a winter here in Vermont this year. It's much more wintry this year than my first winter here in Vermont last year. And I was going to say that even before we had this big snowstorm that brought us online rather than meeting in person. And snow, big winters can impact beings, can impact human choices and what we do. But generally speaking, wildlife, other animals who aren't humans, who live their lives outside, they generally know how to take care of themselves during the winter. But there are some times when tricky things happen and they need our help. So I have a true story that I want to tell you. It's something that happened in December, just a few months ago, and it happened in Iceland. Now, Iceland is an island nation that is further north than we are. It's much colder in general, and it's several countries away from us. We'd have to go over Canada and Greenland before we get to Iceland, and you can see from this map. That's pretty far away. The capital city of Iceland is Reykjavik, and it has ponds and lakes in the city. And in early December, there was a social media post that shared the news that there was a young swan, not a baby, but not fully grown, who was frozen in a pond and was struggling, was maybe possibly dying. And people were commenting on this post like, we should do something, or what should we do, or someone should do something, in the way that people comment on social media posts. But one person, whose name is Sherston, she commented, I'm on my way with the necessary equipment. I'm on my way with the necessary equipment. Can you guess what might be necessary equipment to free a not baby but not grown swan who's frozen on a pond? Yes, warm water. Warm water that can be used to help thaw that part where the swan's body and the frozen water met, freeing them. And also a surfboard? Well, Sherston didn't know how thick the ice was and whether it would be safe to go out where the swan was, so she wanted to make sure that she would be safe. But there's a third thing that Sherston brought as part of her necessary equipment. She brought a friend. So, Sherston and her friend, with their thermos of warm water and their surfboard, went out to the pond. And in my mind's eye, I imagined that there were people around who were cheering them on. But they were able to free that swan, who basically, as soon as it was freed, flew away. It makes me think about the times when my help might be needed, and whether I might respond, whether I know that I have the necessary equipment or not. Because I can be pretty creative. I bet you can be pretty creative too. I don't always have to have the answers when I respond with my help. And you don't have to have all the answers ahead of time when you respond with your help. But when we do need to help someone else, it's good to have the response of, I'm coming with the necessary equipment. Now, it could be that warm water is going to be part of the necessary equipment for some situations. Certainly, if you need to make tea, to sit down with a friend and listen to them, warm water is a good thing to bring. It's part of the necessary equipment. I'm not sure how often a surfboard, especially around here, is going to be part of the necessary equipment, but I have an open mind. But I think almost always, in so many situations, so many simple situations, so many small situations, so many big situations where someone needs help, I think bringing a friend, bringing a helpful stranger, that's a good way to respond. So maybe sometime soon you'll be in a situation where you understand someone needs help and you'll say, I'm on my way with the necessary equipment.